Morning, Walter. Rick Mayfield here. Just want to say thank you for everything that you've done for this district, these kids, um, to help make my job easier, though that certainly wasn't a goal. But what a pleasure to work with you, and what a contribution that you have made. What a legacy you've left for this district. Really something else. And I'm very sorry to see you go. I appreciate that you always put the kids first. And I'm also sorry that we never got out on the golf course, Walter. We said we were going to do that, and we never did it. So my understanding, though, is that there are some great courses in Nova Scotia. One in particular, right on the cliffs. I can't remember the name of it, but I think I'm going to have to come up there and visit you, and we'll have to go out and play that course. So anyway, whatever your next adventure is, I hope it's a great one. Best of luck to you, and again, thanks for all that you've done for these kids, this district, and what a pleasure to work with you. Take care of yourself, Walt. Bye.
Walter, I really want you to understand how much this community is going to miss you, especially the schools and the students, and all the number of years that you put in. So in this video, I've worked really hard to find props that will convey just how long you've been with the school board. Walter, I hate to see you leaving the school board. It's meant a lot to me to work with you and to have all that sage advice that you were able to pass on to all of us. Sometimes things got a little bit hot. It was a pleasure working with you. You always understood and knew what you were talking about. I know you always wanted our students to have the most up-to-date textbooks. As far as I know, your email was only hacked once, and one of your Zoom meetings had a troll. And Walter, you always knew what it was to be a good school board member. I know you always knew how to use the latest technology. You always did what you thought was best for kids, and you always fought for what you believed in. Walter, I always hope you're there as someone that I can call on. I will miss you and the wisdom that you brought to the school board.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you for your 20 years of service with the school district. Because of you and your contributions, this district is a better place for kids. And that's a fantastic thing to be able to say. Personally, I'll miss your wit, your insight at the board meetings, and I just wish you well in the future. Thank you.
Hey, Walter, it's been 20 years. 20 years since we first ran for school board together. And I'm sorry to see it end, but I just want to acknowledge all the hard work that you've done. We started off, remember, in 2000, the financial crisis that made us close 3 schools. Things got better. We always did what we had to do. Then they were going to shut down Diablo. And we worked through SB 1090, had the district get some protection, establish a foundation. And there's Measure D, a lasting legacy to us and our communities, things that you have really been intimately involved with. We're kind of like an old married couple, Walt, you and I. We've seen a lot, we've done a lot, and I just want to acknowledge that you always kept in mind what was in the best interest of the district. And you always understood your role in the governance, as a governance guy for the district. You didn't try to micromanage the district. You always brought us back on point. I'm going to miss the heck out of you, and I wish you well. Take care. Love you, buddy.
Hi, Walter. I'm not very good at this, and I got to make it short and sweet because I'm going to start to cry. We've been on this board together 18 years, and I have so valued what you've brought to being a trustee, and your insights, your careful, thoughtful consideration of issues, the way you've broken down complex legal concepts so that I can understand them, and just your genuine heart for kids has always been at the forefront of why you do the things you do. So, you know, I consider you a true friend. I just love you dearly, and I can't imagine what it will be like to serve without you. But I wish you everything good, and I don't plan to allow this to be the end of our relationship. So please take good care and know that you have been very well loved by your fellow board members.
Hi, Walt. I received an invitation to do this video in honor of your retirement from the school board. And I was promised that this would be a private communication and that only you would see it. So I'm comfortable in saying some pretty sensitive things. I think you understand. I was playing bingo the other night, and naturally I thought of you and all the adventures you have before you. I just wanted to remind you that we are living under some pretty serious cautions right now. So as you enter retirement, I want you to remember that that you're not to show your face anywhere, that you're not to leave your house, and try to breathe as little as possible. These are my advice to you as you enter retirement. So it's probably better to dwell on the past, there being no future. We go back a long ways. I remember your PTA stint and our arguments over combination classes. You were for grouping kids exclusively by grade level, regardless of the costs. And I was dedicated to like solvent school districts. And under your leadership, by the way, for a few years, neither one of us got what we wanted. You were also active as a parent rep on the district's strategic planning team, a team I discovered I was in charge of immediately upon arrival in the district and about which I knew nothing. And I remember I was so comforted at our first meeting when you shared your ideas on the strategic planning process and the objectives and things that we should consider. I realized that I was no longer alone, and that I had found you, and I had found someone who was just as confused and uninformed as I was. And then against all odds, you became a board member and served with distinction. No offense to any other candidate, but I'm sorry that this election didn't turn out the way you had hoped. I want you to know that I voted for you 5 times. I'm actually guilty of that. No, the election wasn't rigged. Each vote was in a separate election. But I did vote for you all those times. And I'm not sorry I did. And on a serious note, Walt, it was an honor to work with you, and an even greater honor to know you as a person and a friend. There are always serious and difficult issues facing a school district, and you face them with honesty, integrity, courage, and even humor. And our community owes you a great debt. I'm sending you my thanks and wishing you all good things for the future. And yes, I'm wearing pajama bottoms as I make this video. All the best, Walt. Take care.
So Walter, here we are at the scene of the crime. I'm going to use some cop talk for you because you'll understand that. I'm going to tell you some witnesses. Carrie Lane, Wendy Gould were there when we met. Don Schallenberger, Amy Shields, Jill Sable, Roy Aguirre, Darla Batista, Lindley Sainsbury, Ed Valentine, Steve Ladd, and others. There's no getting away from it. But seriously, Walt, I wouldn't be a trustee for San Luis Coastal if it weren't for you. You were the one who noticed that I was interested in learning about the way the schools worked, the way the district worked, how to best help all our kids. You suggested I serve on school site council. You suggested I participate as a community member on the budget committee when PG&E went bankrupt several years ago. I served on Steve Ladd's advisory council. And then I replaced John Spatafor when he left, and you supported my appointment to the school board. I would be ever grateful to you for that, Walt. You also served as a mentor for me and helped me learn the ropes. You learned about the fiscal and fiduciary responsibilities of a school board member. You taught me how important it is that we stay up above and set goals and priorities, and we not micromanage anybody. You served in that role for me willingly and with great wit and intelligence, and were always available to answer all my questions. And further, you were a friend before, but we became good friends during my time on the board. You helped me get to school board meetings when I was going through chemotherapy. You gave me a ride when I broke my leg. You were there for me through thick and thin. I really appreciate it. I consider myself a successful advocate for kids in our district, and I want you to know that you played a role on things like that. You have served our district, our community, our kids, our schools, our staff with great wit, deep intelligence, a huge caring, sometimes a little bit of impatience. You have been the board curmudgeon, and I think you hold that role dear to you, as we all do. We will miss you. You are loved. We will remain in touch. Thank you, Walt, for all you've done.
Hi, Walt. Diane and Joyce from Student Services. We want to thank you for your service on the board these last 21 years. You've been such a great support of Student Support Services, me and Joyce, and students with special needs throughout the district, so thank you.
And we really appreciate all of your support, and we wish you all the best as you start on a new adventure in retirement. Take care.
Hey Walt, it's Chris Dowler from Pacific Beach High School and Student Support Services. I just wanted to thank you for everything you've done on the Board of Education and your advocacy and support for at-risk and struggling students around the school district. Your guidance has always been sought and appreciated, and I just want to thank you for everything you've done.
Hey Walt, it's Kim. I just wanted to say thank you. I so appreciate the amount of time that you have put in to dedicate yourself to our school district and for the kids in San Luis Coastal. I so appreciate your just consistent foundation, your understanding of legal questions, your deep thoughts into asking really pointed, targeted questions that are always really helpful, your respectful manner in which you interact with staff, and most importantly, your deep commitment to children. Thank you so much.
Hey Walt, Kristen here. I am really gonna miss you. Your sage advice, constantly keeping everybody in check, including all of us. And I sure hope I'm gonna see you around. Thank you so much for everything you've done for San Luis Coastal. You will really be missed.
Good evening, Mr. Millar, Walt. I've been thinking that our time on the board together has been rather brief but intense. This year in particular, we've been called upon to make some really difficult decisions in some very challenging times. And it's been clear to me that your commitment and dedication to both our teachers and our students has been impressive and unwavering. I think this is reflective of the many years of service that you've provided to our board and our district. I'd also like to thank you for extending a warm welcome to a new trustee. It takes a while to grow into this difficult position. And as you move ahead, I hope that you stay safe, stay sane. Maybe that's more difficult in these times. But anyway, stay well and be well. Take care, Mr. Millar.
Hey Walt, this is Joyce Hansen, Coordinator of Special Ed for San Luis Coastal, and just want to say how much we appreciate all the work you have done to support special education students in San Luis Coastal. Special ed can be a crazy and contentious world, and just knowing that we have board members like you that back us up and support us 100% has just been amazing. Thanks for all your efforts.
You may be wondering why I'm wearing this mustache. And the answer is, I'm pretty sure when I met you in 2010 that you were wearing a very trim white mustache like this. And you also had a very regal head of white hair that caused my sons to refer to you as the centaur, with all due respect, because they think centaurs are awesome. So that's why I was wearing a mustache. But now I'll just tell you that I want you to know how much I appreciate your dedication to the school board, and especially to Pac Beach High School. I just want to point out all of the hours of work that you put in to training those students to be young attorneys and to compete in the mock trial competitions. They were amazing, and as you know, they won several awards. I'm also grateful to you for your thoughtful questions at board meetings, as well as your free legal advice. But you will be sorely missed, Walter, but I am just so happy that you found happiness. And I just want to say, enjoy your trips to Nova Scotia. I look forward to seeing you in Windy at the film festival. Be happy, stay well. We love you.
Walt, I just want to say thank you for the 2 decades of service that you've given San Luis Coastal. I want to thank you for putting kids first, and I want to thank you for being such an amazing trustee. You are the embodiment of the term trustee. I've grown to respect your decision making. I love your humor, and I'm going to miss you. Thank you again for all that you've done for us.